Hi, good morning. I hope you guys are keeping well. Before I start the chapter, I would just like to apologize that I could not take the class yesterday. I'm not keeping in the best of my shape. So let's just do today's class, and then I'll take another class tomorrow just to compensate for the time that I lost yesterday. I'm not taking anything new today, but what genuinely worries me this year, keeping in mind the results that we have seen, is that I was just trying to sit and analyze and try to understand what are the key points where children are losing their marks. We always assume, particularly in board examinations, that the grammatical mistakes do not hold any importance. So, I want you to understand that grammatical, importance is as important as attempting a question in your board examinations, and not only in board examinations, but anything which where English is required as a language, mode of communication. So you have to practice your formats and your practice materials as much as possible, and whatever formats that I have taught you till date, in all the formats, you please practice at least excuse me, two formats out of each all the formats, and do it in your practice material, and show me, upload it on Google Classroom. um, the other day some children did come to get their copies checked, but unfortunately there were some who had come and never bothered to show me their copies, although there are people who are very diligent and they upload their homework on Google Classroom, but there are some who just don't bother. Remember, and I'll mention it again, that your attendance is mandatory, and there's a strict certain amount of attendance that I have to mark and submit it to the principal before you are in a position to sit for your golden examinations or board examinations, even if we are teaching remotely. So don't take it very lightly. So I want you to start practicing your sample papers. If you remember, I told you to get these old English papers, from your previous seniors, or at least last 3 years board examination papers or sample papers, that if you can download it from internet. I think nowadays everything is quite easy. Please do that. In the coming week, we are going to do a 3 hour mock test where you are sitting, and we are practicing. I'm going to give you some mock papers, and we are doing it. I don't know how. We just pray. I still have to understand how we either we'll do it on Zoom class, or I don't know how. But please be prepared for that. So this is what I was trying to explain. And then we are doing a poem today, ball poem. This is on page number 47. A boy loses a ball. This is written by John Berryman. He's very upset. For a small child, the little things and toys really matter a lot. A ball doesn't cost much, nor is it difficult to buy another ball. Why then is the boy so upset? Read the poem to see what the poet thinks he has been lost, and what the boy has to learn from the experience of losing something. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? So the poet is trying to explain the current situation that this boy is in, that he's very upset and worried that as he has lost his ball. What is he to do? I saw it go. He said, what is he supposed to do? He saw his ball going. He's lost his ball, merrily bouncing, and the ball is happily, the ball is round. So it keeps on bouncing and rolling from one place to another very easily. So it is rolling and bouncing. down the street, and then he's going down the street. Maybe he's playing in the streets, and merrily over there it is in the water. And happily the ball is rolling. The ball doesn't have a fixed shape, so it is very easy to roll, and it's gone in the water. It's flushed away. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. So it is he's the poet is trying to say that, don't, that there can be, you can say that, don't worry, you have other balls also. But the boy did not say anything like that. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy, and the boy is very, very sad, very upset. As he stands rigid, he's standing there still. He's not moving. He's trembling, he's shaking, staring down, and he's looking continuously at the ball which has been flushed in the water. All his young days in the harbor where his ball went. And he stood there, and when he was young, he every day used to go and he used to stand at the harbor. Harbor is the place where all the boats and all the big ships are parked. It's almost like a dock, you can call it, in the sea. His ball went, and he kept on going there, and he said, this is the place where my ball went. I would not intrude on him. I did not dare to ask him, why are you still so upset about that ball? A dime, another ball is worthless. Dime is a penny. Dime is the smallest unit of currency of a dollar. He's like, how much does it cost? It doesn't cost very, it was not very expensive. It was not worth to be remembered every single day. Now he senses first responsibility in a world of possessions. That was the first time when he really understood, this was a time when the poet realizes that the boy is growing up, and he has a sense of possession, that this belongs to me. As children, you tend to find that children usually are very careful about their possessions, about their things, or even their parents' things. So he said, people will take balls will be lost always, little boy. It has a deeper meaning, and then the poet is trying to explain and talk to the boy, and he's trying to say that life is like that. Life is full of loss. This is just a mere small example of losing a ball. But when life is full of loss, there will be people who will take things from you again and again and again, as loss. And no one buys a ball back. But there won't be many people who will come and buy you things that they have taken away from you. In the reality, when you grow up, there's always a fight for positions. So nobody's going to give you back that position that that person has fought from you. There will be people who will snatch away your valuables, your property, your money, your happiness, but they don't give it back, do they? So this is what the poet is trying to explain. Money is external. Money is the very, very momentary, very temporary. And he's learning, and the boy is growing up, and he's learning that things which go do not come back, well behind his desperate eyes, and his eyes are still searching for that ball that he lost in that water. The epistemology of loss. Epistemology says understanding the nature of loss. Loss does not mean losing. Someone can lose. Someone can. Uh, the impact of loss can be as can be strong for some person, for someone who has lost 1 rupee, and for someone who's lost 1 crore, 1 million rupees. But the what really important is understanding the value, understanding the the moment of loss. That you have lost something. It's no longer with you. The best part, what we learn from this process of losing is how to stand up. You do not stick to that thing. This boy was sticking to his past, and that's why he kept on going back, trying to look for his lost ball. Every day he used to go back to the harbor. But the poet is trying to explain that the best part, the lesson from loss, is that you need to stand up. You need to move on. Remember it, but then move on with that. Knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. We are talking about material things, but there will be a time when people will that lose their loved ones. Human beings will die. Everything is so inevitable. You cannot run away from death. So the poet is trying to teach the lesson of life, that you need to move on even when you lose things, when you lose material things, you lose relationships, and most importantly, you lose humans also. You lose relations, you lose people. But the best lesson of life is that you need to move on, stand up and move on, and not to hold it back. This is what the beautiful poem. This is what the poet was trying to say.